Welcome back to episode 27 of Project Ozone 2 Kappa mode, and I'm just making some mangaloy. I put the cow I was talking about last episode over in the last millennium. It's providing us some Zephyrian Erothium, but not a terrible amount of it. I don't have a second cow, unfortunately, so I can't really do anything about that right now. However, I'm putting mangaloy in to this fluid transposer, and it's happily outputting glowing mangaloy into our system, which is this block. You can just output into any interface and it'll act like a chest in the system, so you don't have to worry about it, just output. In this case, I'm just doing it by atom conduit, but you can do it by other methods. The other thing I want to do is, and I've done this, I'm just moving this around a little bit. Let's just put some smart cable over here. I'll just make sure I get this right first. Yeah, they're both inputs, so I want export buses, so exporting from the system into an input on here, into an input on here. And then connect everything up with a smart cable. There we go. That should work correctly. I also want to put 4 acceleration cards in either one. Not that we actually need that too much. And then we get to choose what we want as an input. I want to choose sand on the green. We don't need capacity cards in this. And then I want gold ore into the other one. You could use redstone ore as well. I think they both have a decent chance of... let's have a look. Let's just see if gold ore... If we look at uses for gold ore and go across to the induction smelter, we're going to get 60% chance of rich slag. Pretty good, because up to 75 of cinnabar. Don't have cinnabar. Redstone ore. Okay, same thing. We're going to look in the induction smelter. 50% chance. Okay, so we'll stay with gold. Gold is coming out of our various systems. In our case, it's coming out of our magical crops. Magical crop essence, gold essence, is essentially turning into gold ore when it gets compacted by 3x3 recipes. So in here we've got then a lot. Well, I said lots of gold ore. I think I've processed it all. Yeah, let's just grab that gold ore for a second. Down. There we go. And head over here and put the gold ore into the export bus. So it's now going to do its best to ensure that all the gold ore is processed in the induction smelter, which should give us rich slag, which in turn we can make into mangaloy, which has already been running for a while. I've got 614. That may not sound like a huge amount, but it's processed an awful lot of gold ore for that. So it's it was over 1200, but I think I've converted it into mangaloy. Mangaloy. Yeah, so we've got 172 glowing and 470 regular. Why do we need that? Well, we need it for the draconic cores. We need blue gems, glowing mangaloy, and draconium. Draconium we can get from the draconium dust we got from the end, but that runs out. Instead, we can use draconium essence. So again, magical crops. So I did those. Again, 10-10-10ing them. So we can make glowing mangaloy. We can make draconium ingot, and now we just got to get blue gems. Okay, so I didn't want to do any more Galacticraft on camera. It's all the same. The seed for every planet is exactly the same. However, the dungeons are in different places. So I did go through, and we've gone now through Jupiter, Ceres, and the asteroids, which is interesting. I'll show you more about those in a minute. Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. You can pronounce that very differently. Yeah. Saturn is fine. Uranus is fine. Neptune is not. Let's just head across there for a second. And when I say not, it's because there's a very bit of, well, there's a problem on Neptune. You may be able to see it. Let me just get rid of that block. Yeah, looks like we're in near a puddle of some kind. Liquid nitrogen. Well, it's not a puddle. The entire planet is coated in liquid nitrogen. The whole planet. So trying to find dungeons out here on Neptune is going to be a problem. Thankfully, the one we needed is just to get to Neptune, not necessarily go beyond it. That's later in the pack, I think. So you can still see the dungeons, but they're a little bit harder to spot just with all this liquid on the top. However, in our case, we're fine just to go through here. And I've headed down and we've got some ores down there just fine. Digital miner has been working overtime. That means we can get blue gems, or at least limited amounts of blue gems, without me moving the digital miner all over the place, which I should probably do at some point. So what you actually get is these blue gems, and you get them by processing the blue gem ore from Neptune. Yeah, nothing special to that. So now we can make draconic cores. I think we've got everything. Finally. In fact, let me just get those charged draconium blocks. You probably know what we're going to be using those for. In fact, while we're at it, let's grab the dragon heart. And do I have any trophies? Do I have any creeper trophies? I do. Wow, they don't stack. 2, 3, 9, 1, 2, 3. No, okay, they don't stack. And we want a what do we want? The draconic cores. I think you need 16 of these. So I think it's 4 for every block you want to convert, if I remember rightly. I could be misremembering, but we're going to need lots of them anyway, and that's why you're going to need glowing mangaloy. Full stack of it to get 16, because it's 4 per stack, obviously. The rest aren't too bad. That is actually pretty bad, though. So, there we go, Awakening Ritual. We can do this anywhere, because this isn't the Resurrection one, and I'll show you why. We're not going to get to the Resurrection one. This is the main block in the Resurrection thing, to bring the Ender's Dragon back, and you do this in the end. In here is for mob souls. We can't craft mob souls. We need the Reaper enchantment, and preferably on something like a Draconic sword. And the Draconic sword is quite expensive. We're going to need to use up some Awakened Draconium to get to it, which is unfortunate. So we're going to need 4, not there, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then everything else is the same stuff. So we're going to have to use up more than one of these blocks, and we're only going to get 4 of these blocks. So, yes, let's give this a go, shall we? Let's just put my trophy down somewhere. Shouldn't matter where. It creates an explosion when you right-click it, but it doesn't harm anything. I think you can just put these down. I don't think you need to do anything too terrible with them. And then we just drop the dragon heart, maybe, or just drop it on the floor. Click this. It's going to start spinning. Then we throw in, I make sure my magnet isn't on, throw in the draconic cores, which should get absorbed. There they go. Then the dragon heart's going to, in turn, turn these into awakened draconium blocks. Eventually. I've got my particles turned down, otherwise you'd be able to see these, and that's just because of my my artifact armor. Once I get out of artifact armor, eventually I will... Oh, there we go! I will basically turn all the particles back on. So, where did that go? Ah, wow. I was paranoid for a second there. We've now got 4. And that's all we're going to get for a while until we can do Resurrection. Unless any of you know any other way to get Dragon Hearts that doesn't involve me killing the Chaos Guardian, which means I need to top level armor, which helps with Draconic evolution, and yeah. So we're not going there for a while. But we can grow Nether Star seeds. Yay, finally! However, there's still a problem in that they need these as the soil, so we can't grow very many, or we can't tend them very quickly. And excuse the frame rate, unfortunately it's pretty unavoidable until I do the kind of an intelligence system for this area, which is probably something I should do very soon. I am compressing cobblestone at a rate of knots like you wouldn't believe to try and get to bedrockium, which is like septuple or octuple? Bedrockium? Bedrockium. Bedrockium ingots. Ingot. Yeah, it makes the drum. You need that from a block of bedrockium. Octuple. Okay, so we're going to need octuple. Yeah, you smelt it from an octuple. That's a lot of cobblestone, and this is now got 3 stacks of world upgrades in 4 of these, and I'm gonna have to go and create more of them. which is now can be auto crafting. But yeah, that's just an aside. Make lots of cobble in your world. Please make lots of cobble. You're going to need it. So in here, we can then say what we want to do. Do you have crop sticks? You have enough to start at least. Let's grab the nether star seeds. Don't lose those. They're expensive. Seed storage, we're going to put them there, which means it's going to craft them in that corner. And I need to go underneath, and I'm going to be very, very paranoid on this one. Where's the thing? That's not it. It's in here somewhere. There it is. So it's this block, I think. Problem is that it will only grow in certain places now, and I've only got 4. Is it that way? 1? Yeah. I've only got 4 blocks, so I get to choose where these go, but that's about it. So I'm probably going to craft a platform just so I can stand on something when I come back to collect these later. I don't want any accidents about them falling off into the void. Thank you very much. That would not be good. And I've crafted the platform one too high. Never mind. So it doesn't much matter where I put these. It's just the frame rate causing problems for me. It doesn't much matter where I put these, but we have to make sure that the machine plants the seeds in the right place. So the only place we can really do this with is, I want to say something like this and then the center block, because we need some way of combining all of those. And will you now work if I turn, it's always active. If I just plant these manually into, let's say, here. Yep, you can now grow. Great, nether star seeds. That should cross to here. And then I may have to put manual crop sticks in place to get it to spread, at least at first. Then the machine should take over from there. There we go. So I can now wait for that to actually grow. The nether star seeds will produce essence, like this. Not just yet, but nearly there. 85%, there we go, essence. This, of course, we can then use in crafting, just 3x3. Which gets us a nether star. Great. Whoa. Frame rate. I need to stop running off the edge. So we can pipe this into this compactor just like anything else and start getting materials out of it like nether stars. Nether stars seem rare at the start, but from here on outwards, they're going to be quite common. And, well, we're going to need an awful lot of them. So I am going to have to go to this growing system fairly soon, like this, but much smaller for nether stars, because there's only going to be 4 possible growth points. And yeah, so maybe just a default harvester will do just fine. And then build up a stack of nether stars, or a few stacks of nether stars, before I try and break those or weaken draconium down, so that we can then resurrect the dragon with mob souls. That is going to wait for another day, I think. Although we're nicely getting this spreading now. Good. Fine. What have we got next while those are 10-10-10ing? Next, we should also have a look at some of the items in our base. Just wait for my frame rate to recover. So I set up a very, very simple enchantment table, just a boring standard version, so we can actually get some enchantment going. I've put 100 levels onto my character. I did also have a thought, though. So those in the comments who were screaming at me that there's another sword in Draconic Evolution. Well, if you did that in the comments before you saw this, yeah, I'll allow it. This sort of a wyvern. So we should be able to get the Reaper enchant using this. And then we have the Bibliocraft printing press and typesetting table from a quest reward. And we should be able to pull Reaper off it, once we get Reaper onto it, I should say. So to make that, should be relatively straightforward. Let's just type it in here. Sword of the Wyvern. Ooh, Sword of the Cosmos. Infinity attack damage. What's that recipe? Yeah, not going there. Demon Steel of the 11th magnitude. 11th. Okay, not doing that one today. So, on to another Wyvern core. We need 4 of the draconic cores. Hopefully I've got enough left. And that'll let us make a Wyvern core. We're going to need to automate that at some point. And then at this point, we're going to need another draconic core. And then what else does this need? We've got everything. Wyvern energy core, a diamond sword, trivial, and that is everything, I think. Yep. So we've got Sword of the Wyvern. Attack AoE 3x3. So that would be pretty good anyway. Control for stats. It is 20 attack damage. What does this do? Is that attack damage? 29 attack damage. Okay, so it's got looting 3. And this one has got 20. But it is AoE as well. And there's an upgrade modifier to boost things. So, And is that 10% mob health it takes off as well? Does it make mobs 10%? That looks like it's making them stronger. I hope not. Anyway, it does look pretty cool. So if we put that in the enchantment table, can you enchant? You can. So probably want at least needs to be 15 to 20, I think. But I'm also going to need, if this doesn't work, will you enchant? Looks like you have enchanted. Knockback and Reaper 3. Exactly what we want. Well, I could have done with Reaper 4, but Reaper 3 should be fine. So we now need an auto disenchanter of some kind. What do we have available in this pack? Disenchant. So we've got the MFR version and the Draconic Evolution version. We need an enchanted book of some kind and draconic cores. So maybe I should go with the Draconic Evolution version. Hopefully it isn't too excessively different. I've not used this one before. So what do we actually need? An enchantment table. Okay, that's fair enough. Another couple of draconic cores. Hopefully that's fair enough. I'm going to run out of that glowing mangalore anytime. And some kind of enchanted book. It doesn't matter what kind. So let's just grab a book. Hopefully not. Efficiency 4, I'm not going to really need. Let me just actually assemble the recipe otherwise then. Disenchanter. Grab you, put you in place, and will you now work? You will. Okay, do you need power? I hope you don't need power, but I will allow it. Item damage, it will take 40% and cost 0. We don't really have any damage stats on this, so I'm hoping that that's okay. Let me just grab a book of some kind. Let me just grab, well, a few. We've got plenty. Yep, and will you now disenchant? Cost 0. Knockback 2. Reaper 3. That's exactly what we want. And of course, we can get this back, and if we wanted to, put loads of power. I think we can just charge it. Vroom, it's full. Now we need to go and get this this basically book reproduced or duplicated. To do that, bibliocraft stuff. And can I remember without looking it up what we actually need? I've got a feeling we're going to need ink. that's a given. And I think that's in bottle form, maybe? It's been a while. Yeah, I'm going to need to go and check the wiki. Alright, bit of a roundabout method, but I had to create some dye seeds in order to create technical essence. And that we now have because I needed more ink sacs. Plenty now. So what we can actually do, I've done this once for the Reaper 3, but we can do it again just to show you this. And I was just testing this out. What you don't do is right click. You do actually want to shift right click the enchantment and it'll convert into an enchanted plate. If that just says a normal printing press plate, if it's not glowing like that, you've done it wrong. Sorry. And that's what you do if you, that's what happens if you hit the button on the front as well, I think. So once you've got the enchanted plate, which I've put in here, click on this piece with the enchanted plate, put some books on the left hand side, just right click them on, and then hopefully we should be able to just click on the plate at the back with the ink sacs. And if I get this right again, I can never get the right position for this thing. There we go. It was in the right place, just didn't decide to take. So it's got 35 ink, and it's going to start converting these over from these book pile, which is, there's about 32 on there. Yep, and we're going to start getting these on the right hand side, which I can then grab one at a time. We can then use the anvil to combine one of these. Unfortunately, we're going to need two. Can you give me another one? Yeah. Give me another one. There we go. We're going to need two of them. Enchantment cost is 6, and we get a Reaper 4. Another 2 will get Reaper 4, and 2 of those will get Reaper 5, which is exactly what we want. And it may actually be worthwhile putting this through again. Let's just grab another 3. Is that out of ink already? No. Oh, the plate. You can only make 3 books out of each one. Fine, so if you want to put this through again, we're going to need to use this all over again. Let's just grab you. There's one chase left. How much, I wonder? It's probably going to need more XP. Let's just go and grab that. It'd be nice if that was an infinite amount of books from one plate, but sadly it isn't. But that's okay. We can now make Reaper 4 plates. Like this. Let's put it through again. Reaper 4, right click, put the Reaper 3 away, shift right click, we get the plate, and it's going to make Reaper 4 for us. Cool, let me just put this back in here. Got a few things off these golden swords I was doing. One of the things that I really wanted was soulbound, so we can probably rip that off using the disenchanter, and then reproduce that to add it to some of our equipment. So very useful indeed. I'm going to take soulbound Reaper 4 and another Reaper 4, hopefully, once it finishes. And we should get Reaper 5, which is exactly what we want. There we go. And Reaper 5, please. Reaper 4, Reaper 4, Reaper 5. That's exactly what I wanted, aside from the input, the inventory lag. So we've now got a copy of that. And to be honest, I should make some more chases. Chase. Printing press chase. Hopefully that's the only thing we can make. Yeah. And then I can just grab a couple more, because if we upgrade to that top level sword, it should just be easy to do this if I have this in the right place. Reaper 5. Shift right click. Requires 40 level. I got 33. Gets expensive, but this mob farm just makes it so handy to actually get this going. There we go. And it should have given us another Reaper 4 in the meantime, which we don't need anymore. Shift right click, grab you, pop you in place. Don't pull the ink off. Pop you in place and put the ink back. The hitbox for getting that in the right place is just horrid. But that should now produce 3 Reaper 5s, which is exactly what we want. And then we can apply it to our sword if we want to. So here we go. On the anvil, sword plus Reaper 5 equals Sword of the Wyvern with Reaper 5. Just make up some more Reaper 5s. There we go. Put you back in place. And still lose the ink sacs. Never get that thing right. Where are they? There we go. Okay, and let's grab you. And then, can we enchant the diamond spikes, I wonder? It'd be nice if you could. Reaper 5. Can, it costs 17, and now I have Reaper 5 on the diamond spikes. So I'm going to need some more XP again. But once that's done, we can then just have this thing, hopefully, just producing these automatically. Let me just get enough to do that. And then put it on to these. We have another one? Yeah, we have another one. We've already done that one. We'll have to do them one at a time, unfortunately. Reaper 5, yes. And I'm going to need the third book. You finished with the third book? Yep. It's not foolproof, that method. I do wish the hitboxes were a lot easier to get to. There we go. So Reaper 5. Let's head up to our mob drop farm. Put them in place, and then we don't have to worry about hitting things with our existing sword. Although having the sword is quite useful. Wanted that anyway. Dark glass instead of cobble. And we can turn everything back on now, I think. And hopefully we're going to get some mob souls. Let's see. Are you going to actually spawn any while I'm standing here? Usually it won't. Usually it'll just make me wait. What I did, yeah, I did try a few other methods. I thought I'd try the autonomous activator method and the Killer Joe method. Killer Joe didn't want to attack even when it was full of nutrient distillant. I'm not sure why. The autonomous activator did work, but it was very, very, very slow. And the wireless charger, I was hoping to charge up the sword. It certainly didn't charge up the sword when it was in the autonomous activator. So I decided to go straight for the diamond spikes rather than just this workaround method with an AoE. AoE would have been nice to take at lots of things at once, but it's okay. We've still got our diamond spikes and they work just fine. We just have to wait for some mob souls. Unfortunately, even with Reaper 5, it can take some time. So I'm going to watch for them and we'll come back once I see one or two. Alright, we've finally got a few mob souls popping through. This did take a good 15 minutes or so, so they are really quite rare, but we can grab them. And I'll put them in my inventory, and let's go and see if we can craft something with them. Reapers, quest updated. Okay, let's just pop them in the system, and now Resurrection Stone. Crafted all the rest of the stuff. Will you shift click in? You will. We've got a resurrection stone. Great. Let's go to the end. Let's see what we can do with this. So the resurrection ritual is fairly straightforward, but it does require, well, when I say straightforward, it's not as fussy as other rituals. You don't have to place things exactly right as long as they're within a few blocks. It should be fine. So we've just got this circuit here. We're going to need some more charged draconium blocks. And this is the way it's advertised on the wiki, so it looks pretty nice doing it this way. One in the middle. And now... Back away! Back away! And the Ender Dragon's up. And it should be a harder dragon. I'm sure it gets harder. The important part is we've got another dragon heart and lots of XP. We don't get another portal, but this stays where it is. Everything else gets destroyed. So that way they were pillar quartz blocks that we had around, and we had some diamond blocks and other stuff like that. Let me just pick up all this stuff. Got lots of draconium and lots of XP, which I can dump back into the system. I got another infinity booster card. I'm quite happy with that. Maybe that's a guaranteed drop. And 5 miniature yellow hearts. More importantly, dragon heart! Dragon heart! I can get more awakened draconium. Oh, is there even more XP to go? Yeah, 79, that will do. Let's head back to the base. Head down here. I moved it off the podium over there, the pedestal area, just in case it gets wiped. Alright, so we can do the same thing again, I guess. We need 16 wyvern cores. I'm not sure if we even have enough for those. Any more anyway. Sorry, draconic cores. Let's just see if I run out. Yeah, I'm going to run out of mangaloy, which is okay. Let's see how well our cow has been doing. It's downstairs, isn't it? Let's pop down. Well, that's okay. Let's just pop you in, and it's going to take them a while. So between the episodes, what I'll probably do is create more of those awakened draconium blocks, and maybe take down the Ender Dragon a couple more times to get enough to make more blocks, which will then speed up immensely our nether seed production. I'm not sure if that's too sustainable though. I mean, hopefully we don't need the awakened draconium all that much. What do we use it for in recipes? Okay, so it's used in... let's just turn NEI off. Infinity catalysts. It's not used in a lot else. But what about the ingots then? What do we use the ingots for? Is it just the armor? Because we can get away with doing that if it's just the armor. Yeah. I guess, I hope we're not going to have to keep doing that manually. I really don't, but you never know. Maybe I do. I'm going to have to look it up. I don't want to keep killing the Ender Dragon like that. Anyway, I don't think we're going to do that for a while. Although, it is pretty nice. 60 attack damage. And yeah, we got a config GUI we can use as well. Do we have one with this? Don't think we do we? No. So, we're not going to get to the Draconic Strap of Power next episode. However, it is pretty good to be able to get to nether seeds. So I think I'm going to go do that resurrection once we get more of those. And do once more to get another 4. I'll then be able to use this now to get another 4 once the glowing mangaloy finishes. And from there, well, what are we going to get to? How many blue gems have I got left? Hopefully enough. Full stack. That should do for now. This has been a pretty good episode, I think. We've got the draconic cores up and running. We've got nether star seeds up and running. We've got Sword of the Wyvern, which is okay, but we want the higher level one, obviously. And we've got the resurrection ritual going. So well into draconic evolution, starting of the mod anyway. And next time, I think we'll either carry on with that or take a look at maybe extending this to wireless. Now that I've got this Infinity Booster card, we've already got another one of them, but I kind of fancy not having to keep coming back to this terminal all the time and having wireless. But I think, if I remember rightly, it is pretty severe. Let's just turn on NEI again. It's that little wireless terminal, isn't it? And it's there, wireless crafting terminal. Okay, that's hard. I think me controller we can get to. We've made one before, and a crafting terminal and these parts. A wireless access point is very cheap. Wireless connector is, we've already made a wireless charger, so that'll be very useful. That's also cheap. Oh my. Okay, so we're going to get glowstone and 4,000, lots of glowstone. Lots of glowstone and lots of processors. So just a laborious craft, I think, rather than anything amazing. But once we've got that, we can combine it with the security terminal and the wireless access point and a couple of other things and get fully wireless A2. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to give it a thumbs up if you like my stumbling attempts to get Reaper 5 onto something that works automatically. I did go through the automatic activator and I cut most of that out, I think. So this now does work, although it's not amazingly fast at getting those mob souls, but over time, because we're not going to need too many of them, I'm hopeful that it'll be enough. We'll see. Until next time, thanks for watching.